I'm Dr. Deb Butler, and you are listening to Thinner Peace and Menopause and Beyond. This is episode number 411. Welcome to Thinner Peace and Menopause and Beyond. This is Dr. Deb Butler, Master Life and Weight Coach, and as always, your coach. If you're a woman and you're smart and you're successful and you've been struggling with weight your whole life, and now menopause is making it harder than ever, and you are ready to make this the last time you ever have to go on a diet again, then this podcast is for you. Stay tuned. Well, hello, all my dear friends all over the world. And as usual, I do mean all over the world. And, it was so much fun. I did a Retrain Your Brain 3-day course last week. And one of the people that I coached was from Turkey. So I said to her, hello, my dear friend from all over the world. It just made me smile because I know you all are all over the world, and she was so far away. And yet here she was right up on my Zoom video, and we could see and talk to each other. And she told me how much she enjoyed my podcast and how it's helped her. And that is why I do this. And that's why I've been doing this for 6 years, every week for 6 years, because of comments like that. And knowing that this work and my philosophy doesn't matter where you live at all, anywhere in the world. If you're a woman and you have any kind of culture, like the culture we have, you probably can be helped immensely by the work that I do. At least that's my hope for you. And it got me to thinking with one of my clients that I was working with last week. We're actually working together. Like some people, we work together through the Thinner Peace process. And sometimes people want to work with me beyond that to see what comes up for them even after they finish learning all the tools, lose their weight, or start losing most of their weight, or start losing some of their weight. They still want some coaching. And so this is the case for this one woman that I'm going to talk to you about today. Is that she is basically at the weight that she wants to weigh. And I find it real interesting, the problem that came up, which is why she wanted to keep working with me, and which is why I say to people, sometimes even after you understand these tools and you've done this process with me, sometimes you need to get reinvigorated. You need your brain tweaked because something happens that you didn't expect to happen. It just does. And your brain sometimes will go back to the way it used to be. It will go back to the old thoughts, and you don't even realize it in the beginning. And that's why it's really good to have somebody coaching you on your brain and helping you continue to train it or retrain it. And, while I'm talking about the course, I also want to tell you that if you missed that 3-day course on Retrain Your Brain, I have created another masterclass that will happen on Wednesday. So if you're listening to this podcast, the new masterclass that I'm doing will be on Wednesday, February 21st at 3 o'clock Central. For those of you who missed Retrain Your Brain, or didn't want to do 3 days, you wanted something a little quicker, then this is going to be for you. It's a master class and it's on, get this, 3 myths that you might have about losing weight in menopause. 3 things that you might be doing that may not be helping you being able to lose weight because you're in menopause. So I am going to just break through it, tell you what it is, and then I'm going to coach those little brains of yours and try to help direct your brain in a place that's going to help you do what does work. 3 myths that stop you from losing weight in menopause. And my guess is you don't know it, and I can't wait to tell you. So if you're interested in this and you miss Retrain Your Brain, or you were on Retrain Your Brain and you still want more, just go to my website, drdebbutler.com/join, JOIN, and you will be in. Now, the reason that I'm talking about this, the reason I'm doing the class, the reason I want to talk to you about these 3 myths also has a lot to do with this one client that I want to talk to you about right now and what problem came up with her and how I helped her and how it might help you now. So, how would you want to eat? This is the question. How would you eat? How would you treat yourself if you didn't have any weight to lose? How would it be different? What would you be doing? And here's the thing, that really what I try to teach my clients as we're working is that you want to try to find something that works for you while you're losing weight and pretty much stays the same when you lose weight because you like what you're doing. You don't feel like you're suffering. You don't feel like there's something wrong with you and you have to be punished. You actually are choosing to eat a specific way because you like it, not just because you're going to lose weight. And that is why I always talk about why do you want to lose the weight in the first place? You know, your compelling reason for wanting to lose this weight. So with this client who is now down to what she wants to weigh, she was telling me about a vacation that she went on. And when she came back, she said, now I have something very specific I want to talk to you about. Now listen, vacations, celebrations, all that stuff, no matter how much work, sometimes things pop up that you didn't expect. So for her, she decided she was really not drinking very much alcohol. She had decided while we were working together that she just didn't feel as good when she was drinking it. And that's the reason that I thought and she thought that she wasn't going to drink alcohol. But here's what happened when we got on the call. She said, well, while I was on vacation, I started having alcohol again. And then I came home and I got on the scale and I still weighed the same as I did when I left. And she couldn't believe it. She thought for sure that the scale would show her that if she drinks, she'll gain weight. And the scale actually showed her that she can drink and stay the same. And so this made her start drinking even when she came home in the evenings because she thought, now this was an old thought of hers too, because she thought it helped her relax. But this is the biggest thing. I said to her, do you think that the only reason that you stopped drinking alcohol was so that you could lose weight? Even though, like, did you think that you couldn't lose weight and drink alcohol? And that you had to stop drinking alcohol in order to lose weight? And she said, I think that was just in the back of my head, but I felt so much better when I wasn't drinking it that was what really compelled me, is feeling better. And she says, and I'm not feeling as good as now, and I'm just trying to figure out, why am I doing this? And, I've talked to you a lot about the scale and about what it makes us do, what our thoughts are about it. So what we end up doing or not doing. So for her, what really came up for her that really wasn't coming up for her as much before when she was going through the process of losing weight is that she just didn't think she could lose weight and drink alcohol. And so she just didn't drink alcohol. Now she knows that she can drink alcohol and lose weight. And that now she's going like, now I'm starting to drink alcohol again, but I really don't feel as good. So I said, well, let's look at it like this. Right now, the way your thought process is that, oh, I can still weigh what I want to weigh and drink alcohol. So it makes you feel like you should be drinking again. And that you want to use the alcohol for all the reasons you told yourself before. It relaxes me after a hard day. But in reality, the truth is, and this is just another thought because she told it to me right in the beginning of the call, is I feel so much better if I just don't drink or if I drink very little. I think she was drinking every night. And she says she feels good with drinking maybe once or twice a week. So here's the thing. So she went from an old model or an old thought process that she really didn't realize that she had, is that I can't drink and lose weight. And since she now knows that she can lose weight, she has to decide, does she or doesn't she, regardless of the weight. And you will all have to think about this too, is how do you want to treat yourself with food if you didn't have any weight to lose? And it's better to think about it now while you're losing weight, or else it's just going to pop up at the end like it did for her. And, sometimes this stuff will not come up until you've gone through a certain process. So for her, actually losing the weight, going through this whole process, and then going on a celebration and coming home, she realized that old thought was still there and she had to decide, do I or don't I want to drink, even if I can weigh what I want to weigh? So, what would the question be for you? That was really it for her. And finally, after some coaching and realizing that she still had this thought that she couldn't do both, and that was the only reason she really didn't want to drink, even though she felt better when she wasn't. But the deeper thought was she can't do both. So now what does she really want to think? And what can she believe now with her weight being where she wants it to be? How does she want her lifestyle to be? And how does she want to use alcohol? And it could be for you cookies. It could be potato chips. For me, a lot of it had to do more with potato chips than anything. I thought when I had to lose weight that I couldn't eat potato chips. And I also thought I couldn't control myself around potato chips. And so therefore, I never wanted to eat potato chips. Or if I ate potato chips, I knew I had to eat a bunch of them and I had to start over again later. For her, it's alcohol. What is it for you? Now that my weight has been off for quite a long time, I'm way past menopause, and potato chips really are just potato chips. I still eat them. I still think they taste good, but I also know who runs the roost around here. I decide if I want how many potato chips I want, when I want to stop. Potato chips have no control over me. I'm good with that. And she has to decide where she wants to put alcohol. And this is what she decided. And this is what I want you to think about for yourself, wherever you are in this process. How would I eat if I didn't have to lose weight? And that is how I would make it now. Now, you might not know. You may think like she did is that, oh, I just feel better if I don't drink it. But she also didn't realize that she still had the thought that she couldn't drink it and lose weight. And now she knows she can. But here's the thing. After going through this a few times, she finally just said to me on the phone, I get it. I totally get it. I feel so much better when I don't drink, and it doesn't really matter to me about the weight. I don't want the weight to determine if I drink or not. I want how I feel to determine if I'm going to drink or not if I can according to my weight. Will the scale let me drink today? Will the scale let me eat potato chips today? Do I or don't I? Do I want it in my life? How do I want it in my life, regardless of what the scale says? So you can think about this now for yourself wherever you are, in the beginning of the process, in the middle of the process. Maybe you're at maintenance and the weight's been off, and maybe you're having some issues come up for you that you're wondering about. Do I or don't I? And you have to have a compelling reason why you don't or why you do. She didn't know it. I didn't even know to coach her on it because it didn't come up until now. Way after we've been working together, maybe 6 or 7 months, things come back up in that brain of yours that you think are gone, and they will come back up. And that's why you need backup. That's why you need support, even after you've gone through the thinner peace process. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just means that things happen and your brain may need some extra coaching to process something new, because those old thoughts don't go away for a long time. I still have them years and years after. I can still see them coming around. It's pretty easy for me to observe them now, pretty easy. But nonetheless, you have to be aware. So I want you to take this client and this observation that I had with her and that she now has, is that she knows that she doesn't need alcohol in her life on a daily basis. She's not saying that she doesn't want to drink at all. That is not what she's saying. She just wants to be able to know that it has nothing to do with what she weighs if she's going to drink or not. She wants to go by how she wants to feel, not what she wants to weigh. I want you to really think about that. It's a great question to ask yourself. How do I want to feel tomorrow after I eat this or drink this? How do I want to feel in an hour from now after I eat or drink this? I don't care if you're just beginning your process or you're ending it. It's a great question to start asking yourself and see what's lurking in that brain of yours. And if you want to see what's lurking in that brain of yours, you can always come to this masterclass on the 3 myths of losing weight in menopause and go to drdebbutler.com/join. And hey, let me coach your brain again. Let's see what's lurking in your brain. Or maybe you just want to see what's lurking in somebody else's brain that would help you see yourself better, which is all what group coaching is about, is either you watching somebody being coached and learning, or you being coached and other people learning from you, and you learning from you, because there's nothing like having your brain coached to understand what's going on more inside of you. And as always, I would never, ever end this podcast without reminding you, and of course, my client too, with the alcohol. You know, when you see yourself doing something and you just don't understand it, please, please, please be very, very kind to yourself. And as always, as I have said for the last 6 years, I will see you next week. Bye-bye. If you're loving my podcast and you would like some more information to be able to follow along with, then please go to drdebbutler.com/change, and you can get a free copy of my companion book that goes with this podcast that I refer to in many different episodes. That is drdebbutler.com/change, CHANGE.